friends, it's Becky, and I want to make an eclipse necklace today. But see, the thing is, I'm in Austin and we're in the path of the totality for the eclipse. And that was great and all, but we've also got this nonsense going on today. Don't know if you guys can see that outside the window there, where the clouds were covering the sky for most of the day, and I had bought some eclipse glasses and everything, and I was ready to watch it just in case. And I went outside, and just briefly, just for a minute, we absolutely had the clouds part, and we could watch with our eclipse sunglasses, the very special glasses that allow you to watch it without burning your retinas. We got to see the totality for the eclipse today, but it is still a rainy day blues kind of day. So I'm using the Rainy Day Blues kit from Softflex Company to make a Eclipse in Austin necklace, and probably some earrings to go with it. Actually, let me grab these guys out because they'll be great for the earrings to go with that. So I'm going to set those aside. And I definitely want to use this because it's like kind of the center of the eclipse thing that we've got going on today. I want to use some of these guys. And I've got some pearlesque chain from SilverSilk, and I think that that would be a great way to finish my necklace for me to do that. So I've got these guys. I was thinking about using some of these little drops, but I'm not sure how we'll put those together. But ooh, rain clouds for, you know, the rainy day that we've been having in Austin. So let's do those for the earrings. And I think, ooh, some of these guys. Rainy day. Ooh, no. I know. Some of these black beads. There we go. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is a bar necklace. We're going to put this there in between, and then we're going to have a couple of these guys going up like this. I'm not going to use the drops. We'll use them for something else. Yeah. Here we go. For an eclipse like that. And let me grab some wire. I just got some new pewter wire, and that pewter wire is going to go great with the rest of these. And I've got some 18 gauge here, so let's make sure that this will fit on all of these beads before I start stringing them. And this is the Softflex silver plated pewter. It is a nice one for rainy day kits. It goes with stainless steel, it goes with pewter, can even go with some gunmetal findings. I'm just straightening this out with my fingers, and I'm going to clip off this end that is a little bit on the bended side. We're going to see if these guys will fit. Yep, they will all fit on here. So let's make a really quick bar with these. For a Eclipse in Austin necklace, since it was only when the clouds parted that I was able to even see it. So for the rest of the time, it was just, you know, the clouds moving. I thought it would be really funny. The reason I was even outside to be able to see it is because I thought it would be really, really funny to just do a time lapse of the clouds scrolling by on the ceiling. Sorry, not the ceiling, the ceiling of the world, the sky, that's what it's called. Anyway, I thought it would be funny, so I went out there and I didn't have my tripod, so it's super shaky, so I'm not going to upload that because it's not worth watching. All I did here was use my chain nose pliers to make a little bend on my wire, and then I'm using this 1, 2, 3, 4th step down to get myself a decent sized loop. I think it was the 4th size down. Maybe it was the 3rd size down. Yeah, it looks like it was the 3rd size down on my 6-step bill making pliers to make myself a loop. And so now I've got myself a loop. I'm going to hold on to it and use my fingers to wrap around for a wrapped loop. Oof. That's about as far as that's going to go. Oop. There's a little bit of it that is sticking out, and you can hear maybe the thunder outside. So we are definitely having a rainy day right now while I am working with this. So I'm going to move these guys all up here, and I want about 3 fingers worth of wire on the other side so that I can make another loop that is oriented the same way. So I'm going to turn this and bend this over the top of my chain nose pliers that way. I'm using my flush cutters to cut that, by the way. And again, this was 18 gauge wire. And we're 1, 2, 3, 3 down. Let's go ahead and do that. Anyway, so I went outside with my camera to try and do a time lapse of just the clouds rolling by, because I thought that would be funny. Be like, oh yeah, the eclipse was great. And that's when like there started to be little breaks in the clouds, and my neighbors were all out and their kids were out. The school districts were like, hey, you know what, guys, just keep your kids home today because the traffic was going to be crazy, and a lot of people were going to be pulling their kids out anyway. So my neighbors and their kids were out. We got to say hi and chat a little bit while we watched the stuff. It was really great. But I had brought my little Eclipse glasses out just in case. And I was just so excited about it. I was like, now I get to watch this, and I'm just going to give this a little bit of a bend real quick, because that way we'll have a little bit of a smile going on that. Now let me get some of the SilverSilk components out, because again, I'm going to be finishing it. Look at that sparkle. I love that. This is SilverSilk pearlesque chain, and I'm pretty sure this was a one of the ones that was in a pop-up shop. I'll find out the name of this chain, and if it's still available, give you a link to that. If not, just keep your eye out on the SilverSilk site for more of these. Let me get some findings for this. All right. Now I've got the single end caps. Maybe we should do a double. No, let's do single end caps for this. And maybe I should do the silver instead, because I've only got these and I need to get more of the others. All right, so these are SilverSilk findings, and they're actually made by SilverSilk specifically for the chains. The chains themselves, it's a ball chain that has this wire knitted around the outside of it. And so these findings have a little ridge on the inside that will hold the ball chain, because it will grab on with these findings to the little balls that are there inside of there and hold on to it. Let me grab my pliers and show you what happens with that. When you close it up, just closing it really good. Then it stays right in there. And that way you can attach it to things like oh, I should have waited to do that until now. That's all right. I have jump rings that I can use. So I'm going to do, there we go. Let's just do a little bit here and then cut that in half and get a lobster clasp for the back end. You could do it without a clasp and just have a really long one, but I don't want a long necklace, and that way I can use more of the special capture chain for something else. So let's get this in here. So, because you can cut it with your wire cutters, there's no problems doing that. And then sometimes you'll have little bits of the wire left. I'm just cleaning those off before I stick it into the finding. Sometimes you might have to expand the finding a little bit to make it a little bit bigger. Sometimes you don't have to. It looks like I don't have to for this one. And I like to make sure that it is very well closed. And then give it a little tug to make sure that it's in there well. All right, so now that that is in there, let's find the middle. Give that a little snip. And attach the other findings to the other ends. All right, so I'm just matching the sides. So I've got the SS facing up that way. Let's do the SS facing up the other way. And the SS just stands for SilverSilk, not Secret Service. It's just the branding for this product. It's made by Neely Patel, and I'll put a link to their shop in my description for this as well. And then let's get this out of the way. He did a pop-up shop that was themed on like rain in Paris, and I don't know if this stuff was in that pop-up shop or not. It was really fun to have those little bits. And I'm trying to make sure that these are going to be facing the same way. It doesn't super matter, but you know, I kind of I like things to be a little matchy-matchy on these. Oop, see, that's why you give it a little tug before you finish. That was not in there well. And this is how you open it if it's not open enough to fit it in there. You stick your little pliers in there, and then you spread the pliers, and you can use your hands or your fingers to do that pretty gently. And it'll open it up right there in that jaw. And then you can stick this in again and try it one more time. And it might be that this little ball on the end is getting in the way, so I'm just going to cut that off and give myself a nicer, smoother end to go in here. All right, I'm just going to shove it in as far as it'll go. Shove it right in there. That'll be fine. And I like these wider pliers for this, these wide nose ones, because then I don't get as many marks on my findings. And there we go. I'm giving a little tug. It is in there now. All right. So now let's get our jump rings out and a lobster clasp. Wait, there's a lobster clasp that came in the kit. I can use that. There we go. Lobster clasp. And jump ring. Let's just grab out some jump rings. 1, 2, 3. What are you doing? All right. so now I can attach things to it. This is how you keep it from spilling open and becoming mixed up like this one was. I still haven't sorted this. I need to do that. All right. Rainy Day Blues. Yep. I was going to have some real rainy day blues about the eclipse, but I'm so glad that I got to see it just for a minute, and then the clouds rolled right in over it as soon as the moon started moving past the totality. So I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing, but I did get to see the moon move in front of it. Everything got dark. I got a very, very blurry, very bad quality picture of the coronasphere, and maybe I will post that. It's terrible quality, but you know what? I think everybody who was out there watching the eclipse, they probably got some really bad quality photos too. And then there are other people who got really good quality photos, and I'm really glad that they did. They are not me though. All right, so now I'm going to attach this to this loop over here. I suppose I could have done, instead of this loop, done a link. Ooh, maybe a link? Am I having a change of mind on that, just to have a little extra oomph over there? What did I do with my... I just had it right here. What's up here? Should I do a little link with some of these other guys? Maybe. Maybe, or maybe I'm going to just hold off on doing that and maybe use these in a different necklace at a different point. I was just thinking about having a little link between those, but I think this will be good. Yeah, I don't need to have too much extra. Because we had clouds in the way, and then it just peeked out. It was really great. It was definitely one of those once-in-a-lifetime experiences. I know we've had eclipses in North America before then, but I wasn't living in an area where I could see the totality. But I was today. I was living in an area where it was possible if the clouds weren't in the way, and luckily they moved out of the way. I'm so happy about that. But I still think the Rainy Day Blues is going to be appropriate for today to celebrate that event. Because some of my friends who were a little bit further south than me, they did not get the clouds moving out of their way, and so they did not get to see it. My sister, who's about 3 hours north of me, she got to see the whole thing because the clouds moved completely. She even got to do like that fun thing where you get a colander out and you see the way that the shadows change. With all of that, that was really cool. She posted some pictures to me. She sent those to the family chat so we could all see it. There we go. So we've got our little eclipse necklace. Now let's make some eclipse earrings. Super quick. Let's get these going. I have a project that I'm working on this month, and that is an earrings everyday project. And that means that I'm making a pair of earrings every day for the month of April. And I'm just really quick going to make myself some ear wires with more of this pewter craft wire. I'm using the 22 gauge. Again, I'm just straightening it with my fingers. And I'm cutting both ends flush like that. I'm going to use my round nose pliers for this first part. And that is making a very tight little loop right at the end of that wire, using the very tippy tip of my round nose pliers. And then once those are made, I like to do a little bit of a smoosh on these loops before I do anything else, just to keep them from deforming. And I do that with my pliers, just give them a little smoosh. It's the same kind of work hardening as when you hammer something to do that. And now I need my 6-step bell making pliers, and I'm going to use the second biggest and the second smallest loops. I start with the second smallest loops with these loops facing away from it, and I bend it around here and then keep them together so they're the same size. And then I'm going to have these bent around this second smallest loop. Keep these facing away. Sometimes pull them back a little bit before I bend the other side around like that. And now I've got my ear wires mostly made. It's just a couple more steps. Still keeping these together. Just going to grab right beneath where this curve is and do another curve that way. And then take my flush cutters and snip right there with the flush side towards the ear wires. And then I'm going to use my pliers and smoosh these on the curve. To work harden them. I could grab my hammer and my bench block and hammer them instead. But it's a little bit noisy, and I've got my pliers right here. And then the last step is to take a metal file and file the burrs down on the end so that it doesn't scratch your ear up when you put them in there. And just scrape them, and then I touch them and feel them, and if they're still rough, we'll do that. Okay, so now I've got my ear wires. Let's make a link using this twisty glass, and we're going to hook it onto this cloud charm, and then we'll have a loop up at the top on the other end. It's going to be super, super simple. And let's go ahead and make one of them here, and then I'll do a little short later for my channel for my earrings everyday project, because I like to do the shorts to help me track my projects, because I know I will forget which number I'm on and that sort of thing if I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend the wire over first of all, and then loop it around this second smallest loop. It could be the smallest loop if I wanted to, but I kind of like large loops right now, especially in proportion with this. So now I've got my little lollipop loop over here. I don't think it matters which end of these is going to be attached to the cloud, so I'm going to go ahead and close this loop with a little wrap. I think around 1, 2, 3 times. And that wrap could be a little bit closer together, so I'm just going to use my pliers and tighten that up a little bit. Move my bead in place, and then about 2.5 fingers width down from there. Cut my wire. And for this, I think I'm going to want my loops to be perpendicular instead of both facing the same direction. One of them needs to be facing away from the other. So I'm going to turn it so instead of looking at it as a circle, it becomes a line. And then I'm going to grab the top of the wire with my pliers and bend this back away from me. Now I can use my looper, bend that wire up and around all the way to the other side. Go. And now I'm going to attach my cloud before I wrap this loop. Now that my cloud's on there, I'm going to wrap this up real quick. Okay. Where's... There we go. I'm just going to try to make this a little bit tighter over here, this wrap. That little end of wire sticking out. You can always adjust your loops again after you've made it, but now I've got my Rainy Day Blues earring to go with my very simple necklace that got real dressed up with SilverSilk to commemorate the eclipse that almost didn't happen for me today. All right, I'm gonna go film the second one and get this uploaded, and then y'all can watch it. And I hope you are having a fantastic Monday. If you were in the path of totality, did you get to see it? Were there clouds in the way? Did you get to see a partial eclipse? Because sometimes that's really fun, because you can still get like those fun things with the shadows during a partial eclipse too. Hope y'all are having a great day. If you like what you see, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe.